Hello Federal viewers, welcome to a chat with anti-corruption activist Jayaram Venkatesan. Today we will be talking to him about the performance of Lokpal. Hello sir, welcome. There is a severe criticism against Lokpal, the anti-corruption ombudsman agency of Government of India. They sought tenders for 7 BMW cars for the chairperson and the 6 members. Since they are eligible, they sought a tender, but why there is a big controversy surrounding this tender?
See, I think the big controversy is because, time and again, people, civil society and others, what we have been asking for is financial independence for an institution like Lokpal. And when we ask for financial independence, when Lokpal has some amount of financial independence, what it means is it has to ensure that whatever spendings that they do, is not luxurious. They have a social responsibility much more than others. So therefore, there is always a conflict between integrity and this kind of a luxurious kind of spending that they do. So therefore, when they are expected to have financial independence, it is because they don't have to go back to the government for every penny. Then that will block many of the investigations that is going on if they have to go back to the government for everything. So that is why they need a leeway for spending, and that they have to ensure that they have some amount of regulation and control over what kind of expenditure that they will do. So when it is everyone knows that even a normal sedan car or normal car is enough for transportation. Floating a tender for a 70 lakh BMW means that they all wish for a luxurious kind of life, which again at the cost of the exchequer, which again borders between whether it is integral or honest on their part to do this or not. So this is the fine line that we are talking about.
Can you please share to us how Lokpal is functioning and how many complaints were filed and how many complaints have been investigated so far?
Lokpal, after it got implemented, in fact, we had the first Lokpal only in 2019. In fact, until then there was no chairperson in the first place at all. So between 2019 to now, which is around 7 years that we have seen the Lokpal, they have received close to around 7,000 complaints only. So that itself is very, very less. But then even out of those 7,000 complaints, they have disposed 6,800 complaints without no inquiry, no investigation and so on. They have only taken up a few hundreds of cases for inquiry itself in the first place. And then out of that, there has been only 30 odd cases where investigation has been ordered, where a FIR has been filed. So this is the crucial question in the first place, because what we expect is that when complaints come, when there is enough prima facie material, or when there is less than prima facie material, even Lokpal have the powers to inquire into it, to look at documents and make it a FIR, if they find there is enough prima facie material. So the action of the Lokpal seems to be about disposing all the complaints that they get, rather than actually looking for the corruption evidence in it. So therefore, only 200 odd cases have been taken up for inquiry, then 30 odd has been FIR has been filed. Now only 7 we are seeing that charge sheet has been filed. So this itself is a big problem.
So you mean to say, despite having the bigger, stronger wings, they haven't started to fly?
Yeah, they haven't started to fly. In fact, they don't want to fly. That's how it looks like.
Yeah. Do you think do you think this points to inefficiency, or do we have to look at from the political unwillingness to address the complaints and take up these issues?
Yeah. See, there is also quite a bit of question mark about the way Lokpal is being appointed. Even when this act was brought in, we were not happy with the way that the government gets a majority or at least a near majority in terms of appointing the Lokpal and the other members of Lokpal. That is the real problem, because when the government has a near majority, what happens is that they will try and get people that they want into this Lokpal institution. Then the chances that people with integrity, people who want to weed out corruption, people who wants to work to weed out corruption, those people will not find to be a chairperson or other members of the Lokpal. So that becomes a big problem in the first place. So therefore, the appointment of Lokpal itself, that committee, constitution of committee itself is a problem. You have prime minister, you have speaker, you have leader of opposition, you have chief justice or justice of the Supreme Court, and then you have a jurist who will be selected by the other people. So mostly what happens is that the prime minister, speaker and the person that these people select together sides with the government. So there is real majority on the side of the government to ensure that whom they want, they could appoint them as Lokpal here.
As an anti-corruption activist, how do you see the way the Lokpal reacts to the complaints, the number of complaints they receive, and how it is worked out?
See, one of the things, if you look at the complaints, the total complaints of 7,000, what we are seeing is that close to almost 4,200 odd complaints have been disposed, primarily because it's not in format. I mean, it says non-format, right? And this is the big question mark. So whether it is in format or non-format, we expect them to take it up and do it, because ordinary citizens may not know the format, or may not they will know what the corruption is going on. What is the corruption? They should not restrict themselves to this formatting and non-formatting. They should understand that citizens can give in any format. It is about the content that is much more important rather than the format.
Lokpal claims to operate in a transparent manner. As an activist and also a citizen, how do you think it's functioning as of now?
Over the last 7 years, we have not seen Lokpal taking up any big things. See, we saw Adani's big scam coming up throughout the country. Why didn't Lokpal take it up? We have seen many such things. There has been a lot of questions raised over PM Care Fund. There has been a lot of questions raised by the CAG report. They could suo moto take up many of these things as well. And I'm sure that Lokpal, if they had really used their power, today they could have done investigation against many of the big corruption that has been happening in the country. But what we are seeing today is that they are only working on very small fishes, very small cases, or the case of an opposition party member. So that is how it has been going on.
Yeah. Have you come across any awareness programs related to Lokpal, how telling people how they can file a complaint, the so-called format which Lokpal needs?
No, we have not seen. I mean, we have so far not seen anything about Lokpal in the press even, or in the public pretty much, because they are not been functioning at all. They have been doing very little work over the last 7 years. So we have not seen any awareness programs that they have conducted. We don't even know whether they have taken any time out to spread awareness in other states, because Lokpal is not just for Delhi. It's for the entire country. So many people in many other states may not even know that there is an institution like this where they could complain for corruption and so on. So that is really a big question on what Lokpal has been doing to spread awareness. They should be more forthcoming to accept complaints. They should be more forthcoming to spread awareness, to make citizens complain about corruption, and that is how you could beat out corruption. So they should give much more confidence to the people to complain, but none of this has happened so far.